The singularly most important thing that you give a child is really good speech and language skills. It's the thing that springboards them into everything for the rest of their life.
That's not a cup, it's an egg. We can use this.
I was very privileged to be an advisor to the Burko Review of Services for Children with Speech, Language and Communication Needs, and the report was published back in 2008. And one of the key things that we said in the report is that communication is the 21st century life skill.
If you can't communicate, if you don't have language, you can't actually learn, you can't function in everyday society.
We focus a lot on oral language, so being able to say it. If you can't say it, you're never going to be able to write it.
One way that we can look at communication development is by looking at it in different layers, like on a pyramid. This pyramid framework shows us the different levels of communication development and looks very closely at some of the very basic skills that children have to learn, the foundation skills almost. Without these, they won't learn to communicate. Right at the bottom of the pyramid is this child in an environment which provides opportunities for the child to initiate interaction. Is there somebody who's going to be talking to the child, providing feedback, providing models of language? The next level up on the pyramid looks at the child's nonverbal skills. So we're looking at things like their eye contact, their attention and listening.
60 to 90% of any active communication is non-verbal. It's things like facial expression, body language, eye contact, tone of voice, and also the context that you're speaking in. And unless we take this into account in the way we treat young children, they may have all sorts of problems in terms of their social interaction.
Well done.
Not everybody realises that these early non-verbal skills are vital building blocks that children need in order to be able to develop speech, language and communication.
I got to speak to a speech and language therapist, and she actually pointed out to me that when he was looking at me and looking at something, he was actually communicating with me. And it wasn't until then that I realised that eye contact was really important.
The next level up is the understanding of language. So this starts off with understanding single words. They then start to understand very simple, basic instructions. This then develops into the understanding of longer sentences. With the understanding comes the next layer, which is the expressive language. So as children start to understand, they then start to use the words. And really right at the top of the pyramid you get the speech, and that's the development of their speech sounds.
We have an open door policy in our nursery and reception classes. So in the nursery, the parents come in every day and they're very familiar with the practitioners in there. They're very familiar with the classroom. We offer parent sessions to show them how they can help their children with their language development.
Well done, everybody.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
There are more children coming into school who have got poorer language than would be expected.
In areas with high levels of social and economic deprivation, up to 50% of preschool children have delayed speech, language and communication skills.
In 2003, the demand had increased significantly. I think there was about 290 referrals a year. At the end of 2009, we're up to the best part of 1,200 referrals.
It's really important to support parents, particularly in these early years where their children develop and change so rapidly, and there's so many ways that they can help their children.
Our hopes are that local decision makers and those who provide services see that really effective communication as the building block and the heart that enables children to succeed.
I would like to see a world where every single opportunity that happens with a young child is made the absolute most of in terms of speech and language and communication. And I'm not sure we're there yet, but I think there's always more that you can do. And given that it is the foundation skill for a child, it's so important we get it right at the start.